In Your Dreams is a new Netflix animated film, so today, let's see if it's worth your time. Stevie and her little brother Elliot journey into the wildly absurd landscape of their own dreams to ask the Sandman to grant them the perfect family. Look, when it comes to animated films, nowadays they have to stand out. They have to be different from your typical animated films. That's why we're getting a lot more emotional animated films with deeper themes to it that feel relevant to young kids and challenge them and look at their own lives. Pixar has done a lot of movies like this, DreamWorks as well. You do get your fair share, large amount of very generic animated films. And Netflix recently has been producing these animated films that try to be more realistic despite a fantasy adventure to it. And when it comes to In Your Dreams, this is a movie that a lot of kids can easily relate to. Stevie and her younger brother Elliot are going through a rough patch in their lives. Their parents are separating, and Stevie wants to ask the Sandman for a perfect family. So they venture into their own dreams in hopes that they can reach the Sandman for him to grant them their wish. And a lot of kids that are going through their parents divorcing can easily relate to this movie. Unfortunately, when it comes to In Your Dreams, they present this idea. They present these two kids that are going through something very hard in their lives, but they don't add that emotional weight to it. It doesn't feel as dramatic as it could be. It has a fun sense of adventure and it wants to tackle these deeper themes to it, but I never felt all of the emotion behind it. It's there, like I see it on screen, I can see what they're going for, but it never reaches the height to where all of it does feel earned. And a lot of it's due to the pacing of this film, that you try to juggle multiple things within this movie when it comes to what Stevie wants. She wants that perfect family. And then when she realizes that that perfect family may come at the cost of her younger brother, Elliot, and so she has to look at exactly what is important to her. And that's when you start to shift some storylines. You also have to implement all of the fantasy elements to it when it comes to their dreams and their nightmares as well. And then you have to add on the parents' storyline in it. And so there's a lot that this film does juggle. And that's where I feel like a lot of it is at that surface level to where a lot of the emotional beats to this film just do not work as they are venturing back and forth between what's their nightmares, what's their dreams, and trying to stay in those dreams to reach the Sandman. And then you also have to develop the parents. And I feel like a lot of those emotional moments don't work because of the parents. You don't really get to know them all that well. You see some of their inspirations in life and where they want to be, and they're not exactly there. So it's resulting in the differences between the mother and father. But when it comes to their relationship, it's not as strong when it comes to like the children and the mother and father. I don't really feel like that group is all that strong. You know that their parents are separating, but you don't really get to have the connection that Stevie has with her mother and father to feel like this wish is so important. Like, yes, this young girl wants her family to be perfect, and that means her mother and father being present in her life. But it felt like there's a certain shift in the movie to where her younger brother is the important storyline over the mother and father. And the initial setup of that movie, with the mother possibly moving away and Stevie wanting that perfect family, it seems to fall apart very easily in the middle half of the film. And then it starts to shift to the younger brother and Stevie and looking at their relationship. Then it brings everything full circle at the end. I wanted much more of the impact of the mother and father separating and how it truly is affecting Stevie. And we see glimpses of that within the film and what she's going to go through in her dreams to get what she wants. But then it starts to shift its tone, shift its focus to the younger brother. The animation style is good. It does ultimately feel generic at times. Partly due to animated films nowadays just really have to break through, and they have to be something that stands apart from the crowd. When you look at movie last year, Flow, or the Spider-Verse films, or Pixar movies, all of them are just so detailed and so beautifully created that when you look at a movie like this, it just feels generic. And it is good looking. Like, I couldn't make a movie like this by any means. But when you look at so many other animated films, I don't feel like In Your Dreams will stand out from other beautifully done animated films. And that's nothing to take away from the animation for this film, because I'm sure a lot of people just worked very hard on this movie, and the animation is good, but I've seen better. The dream world within it could have been more explored. There could have been more adventure to give it that fantasy element to it all. And Netflix, like I said, has been doing a lot of these more realistic movies set within a fantasy world. It doesn't have that emotional level that you would expect when you look at the plot for this movie and what the two young kids want to accomplish within their dreams. I wasn't fully disappointed with In Your Dreams. I thought Craig Robinson was pretty funny as Baloney Tony, this stuffed animal that Elliot had when he was a kid. The voice acting's fun. Jolie Huang Rappaport as Stevie is really good when it comes to those emotional levels at the end of the film. You do feel that she is very upset when it comes to her mother and father, and what her dreams do mean to her. And Elias Jansen as Elliot brings that whimsical, fun feel to the movie. I did appreciate a film that young kids can relate to what they are going through with their mother and father, but I think that this film could have been more emotional, a more connection, a deeper connection between the parents and the children, and it would have had that great payoff at the end. I see what they're going for, and I really did appreciate that, but I think it could have just been a little bit better. I'm gonna go ahead and give In Your Dreams a C+. Thank you guys for watching my review for In Your Dreams, the newest Netflix animated film. Have you guys seen it by chance? What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.